Update, I'm Kelsey Johnson. Good afternoon.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Let's talk about love, health and wellness, transformation, yeah, we got it. Discuss your breakthroughs, national issues. This show will take you there, yeah. Taking it step by step, living your best life yet, getting stronger.
Gosh, Jesus, the song don't even play long no more. Welcome to the conversation, everybody. How are you doing? I'm so happy Margaret Elizabeth said all the numbers are working. So listen, I want you all to participate today. Let's have fun today and be informed. And of course, you know, the new school year begins in a couple of weeks. Teachers return to the classroom next Monday. And I wonder if they're ready. How long do you all have off now? About 2 months?
Roughly
Almost.
roughly.
Shy of about a week.
And that matters.
Yeah.
We have professional development over our summer break, so we are not just home just enjoying the sun, sand, and sea, Miss Miller. We actually have to do professional development, for which the Ministry of Education gladly provides us with. So we are there.
So you all are constantly in the classroom
constantly
then?
in the classroom, and so even on our vacation that lots of persons in the public service seem to always fuss us about, we are there learning and trying to do things to enhance our craft during our summer break, during our vacation.
Wow, so it's not long enough then, this break, this summer break?
No, I think the ministry should consider giving us an additional 2 months, perhaps.
An additional 2 months?
Yeah.
With pay?
With pay.
With pay.
Of course.
Yes, no, of course. I support that. I support that message. Listen, welcome to the conversation. It's going to be quite interesting because we are talking today, of course, you know, every year for the ahead of the new school year, I have a teacher roundtable, and admittedly there is not a private school teacher represented this time. Normally we have a private school teacher represented, but yeah, we're going to have the conversation. We have from levels primary school to high school. And so we're gonna, you know, just hear what's happening. Where does education stand? Where teachers stand? Where do teachers stand in the whole process of education and in the whole sort of getting your kid ready? Is it all on them? Are they failing the kids? Are they ill prepared? Do they not care enough? And that is why maybe this lingering failing grade exists. Or are you doing your part? So we're going to talk about a lot today as the teachers around the table prepare to go back to the classroom. I mean, you all, like, I should just come bearing gifts, eh?
Yes,
just for the work you all do.
Like
some markers and pencils and pens and books. And
You all still have to dip into your own pockets for this?
Oh, yes.
Of course we do.
The only profession in the world where you have to do that.
Bring the tools with
Yeah,
you.
I like to see a pilot who has to buy his own airplane to fly.
And you know that's not happening.
No.
Not happening at
The doctor
all.
who has to buy his own
It's-
stethoscope.
Or his own scalpel.
Yes.
Well, I'm privileged to work at a school where my school supplies are provided for me at R&B Senior High School, and so
Bless
my
the
principal
Lord,
does
sir.
a beautiful job, Mr. Colin Johnson, providing those resources
So
for our
R&B,
teachers.
Bailey is a campus that's ready fully.
We are.
Do you have to go and fix your classroom up? Do you have to go paint your classroom? I mean, what is it that you...
No, man, we are fully ready and prepared for day one. We're ready for day one. Our teachers are prepared.
Did you all do some work on that campus? Because it was quite shoddy looking some years ago, just really ratty.
No, we did some work. We did some work over the past several years. That I'm not ready to do.
I like how he said we do some work. Like he had a hammer and a sword.
I represented that institution, and so we
Good
did
answer.
did some work. If you pass by, you'd even see our walls being painted white this year. You know, the glory of
Is
God.
being painted or...
It's being painted.
Oh,
We're completing it. We're completing our painting phase, the preparation phase.
Yes.
But we are ready for day one, ready to
it.
accept those wonderful 10th grade students coming in, 11th and 12th graders coming in. We're ready.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Hello to you, Esther, from watching from Freeport. Also, Catalina and Portia. Portia is a teacher in
Hi,
Palm
Portia.
Beach.
Hi,
Yes,
Portia.
Portia is a teacher in Palm Beach, Florida. And so she is tuned in as well. And so, yeah, it's really, really good. And Deborah, of course, good to have you watching, and all the rest of you. Share the video and you know, put your questions to these teachers, all the hard questions, you know.
Yes, bring it on.
And so I know, right? So let's go around the table and meet everybody. First of all, welcome to the conversation, each of you. It's good to have you all around the table. Let's meet you and introduce yourself to us and tell us a little bit about who you are, what grade levels you teach, and your subject area.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Bain. I'm a teacher's aide attached to the special education unit at Anatole Rogers. As far as the grade levels I teach, for specific purpose, they assigned us to grade level 13 actually at Anatole Rogers.
What is grade level 13?
That's the special education unit, where we've discovered that in order to not shortchange children with special needs in their social development, even in their educational development, and having them thrown in the corner at Stapleton, just exclusively at Stapleton, they have integrated them into some of our schools, and Anatole Rogers being one of the schools that they did that with.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is what you focus on. I mean, how are you specially prepared to kind of address that kind of student?
Well, me myself, when I started with we did a general background where we had other teachers' aides. We did a little workshop, whatever. But a lot of it has been from 11 years of experience and interaction. A lot of it is on-the-job training. Like my learned friend said over here, during the summers you have workshops, you have professional development. And so that's pretty much where I've got my background from.
Sounds awesome. So welcome to the conversation. Introduce
you.
yourself to us and tell us a bit about you.
My name is Chanel Pinder. I am with Ridgeland Primary School. So right now in the house, I'm the only primary school teacher represented here. I work as a generalist, and what that means is I teach almost all the subjects. So I do not teach PE. Yeah, so pretty much I teach everything except PE. And what I really, really like about teaching is I feel it's more of a pleasure than a profession, because when you get to deal with children, I think I prefer dealing with children than adults. That's why I changed my occupation, because I had another occupation before. But I love dealing with children. So going back to school is a good thing for me. I'm looking forward to it. I just hope that they're ready for me.
Okay, go right ahead. Go right ahead, right? Margaret is asking what age group and class?
Oh, I teach grade 3. I've taught grade 1, I've taught grade 2, I've taught grade 4, and I've taught grade 5 for a short time. So right now I'm teaching grade 3.
Okay, okay. And welcome back to the conversation. It's good to have you around the table.
Thank you, Shanique, for having me back. I must have done something good for you to have me back.
Well, the verdict is out. But yeah, introduce yourself to us and, just tell us a bit about who you are, where do you teach, and the grade levels.
My name is Delvano McIntosh. I am a proud teacher at the Great Aaron Bailey Senior High School. We are celebrating 50 years this year, and we are proud. We are proud of the legacy that we have produced over the past 50 years. I'm a history teacher, history geography teacher, and
do you know if your students watched your poor performance when you were on this show?
They watched and
they
celebrated my wonderful performance. I have some wonderful students at our high school who I love. I really enjoy teaching. I've been teaching for 8 long years. Like I say, I've been a slave for 8 years. I love what I do. And as much as I've tried to run away from teaching, Shanika, I feel like a preacher. I'm tied to a pulpit when it comes to teaching. I enjoy what I do.
Keep pulling you back in.
He keeps on pulling me back.
And I get an amen.
I imagine your class must be, because history is like, your class must be lit. You must make it very interesting. What do you teach? Bahamian history, world history? What?
A mixture of Bahamian and world history, but the main concentration is Bahamian history. I love what I do. I try my best to use the latest strategies and methodologies to make my class fun and exciting, because life is fun, life is exciting, and we must do our best as educators to ensure that our classrooms are exciting and energetic for our students if they're going to learn.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And so it's good to have each of you around the table. We're happy to have so many people already on the live feed. Portia says, I feel for you, because in Florida, they receive some funding for supplies. But of course, like teachers everywhere, they end up dipping into their pockets as well. Hello to you, Albert. It's good to have you on. Hi, Andrew. Good to have you on as well. And Kathleen is already weighing in. She says, it's the parents who are failing, because most of them don't take the time to encourage their children. Some teachers, I wouldn't say have failed the system, but most of them are frustrated because of the inadequacy, because of the minister governments of the Bahamas when it pertains to education. And that's not just one particular level of schooling, that's straight across the board. And here's Portia says, a very rewarding career. Well, you have to be called, I think, to be a teacher. But let's just talk, this minister. You know, first of all, of course, you've had about a year now to work with this minister.
1 year.
Yes.
and he made he's quite outspoken. He doesn't mince words. He doesn't, you don't have to guess what he's thinking. He's made a number of statements, some of it in your face, that kind of thing. But one thing he said recently, I think it was yesterday, that, kids from I guess that's pre-K, pre-K are not prepared even to enter grade 1. How has because I know I'm excited that a primary school teacher is here, because I understand the fall off really happens at 4th grade. We'll talk about that. But how is it that earlier now these kids aren't ready? Just are the little insy bitsy kids have fallen through the cracks. I mean, how do you catch up and make up for what you should already know in grade 1 to build on that, to kind of just hang with the rest of the class?
Well, it seems as though we have a lot of preschools that's just babysitting. So the people there are not teachers. They're just persons who are hired, or people who just open shop, pretty much. And others bring their children, and they just take care of them during the day. So it's like a daycare. But what needs to happen with a lot of them is that they need to actually do something with the children. Not just napping for 2-3 hours.
Then you have lunch, and then you go outside and play.
They need their motor skills to be formed properly so that they can write. They need constructive play, not just running up and down wildly.
Now, explain these various things. First of all, motor skills.
The motor skills have to do with the fingers, because when the child gets in grade 1, you don't want them writing for 2 minutes and then they say their fingers are hurting them. You have to practice with your hands. You have to practice with every part of your body. These are little children, so their bodies are still forming. So their motor skills must be used, and the teachers there, or the persons who are in charge of them, have to be able to tell them how to use them properly. Because remember, these are little children, age 2, 3, 4. They don't know how to use their bodies properly. So the fine motor skills are very important in the training of their development. And the constructive play.
Right, constructive play. What's that?
It's just the opposite of running around wild. We all know what it is for a child to run around wild.
So games that teach you something.
If they're outside,
play with a purpose.
You have a little, it could be a made-up dollhouse. Anyone could just be able to put something together. And you tell them, when you go in, this is what you do. And you take turns. And when you come out, I want to see how you swing with Sally. I don't want to say Sally, that sounds
very storybookish.
How you swing with your best friend. You push gently. And then you take turns.
Also, it's almost like teaching them social skills.
Social skills.
And then when you're running, you just don't run and bump into everybody. And then everybody comes crying. No, when you run, you're running away so that you don't hurt somebody. Because you don't want parents every day coming saying, this person is always hurting my child. My child is always bruised. So they can't be running wildly. So You have to even teach them how to run. You don't be running into everybody.
Wow, it's totally the formative years then.
Yes.
And that is why it's so important to have Delvano, Brian, and your first name again?
Chanel.
And Chanel, to really have people who are skilled, qualified, yeah, but experienced in training your child, giving them the basics and preparing them for life, preparing them for, of course, you know, to enter school, like grade 1 and beyond. I mean, is the preschool level, is it unregulated? What's happening that is is at this point that the minister speaks about it?
What I'm glad that the Ministry of Education has done for the past few years, they have tried to put a preschool attached to every primary school.
That is what I thought.
And so when they did that, I don't think at the beginning that everyone was certified. So what they're doing now is making sure that the persons who are there definitely have certification, which means they know what to do when they receive these little children. They know that they have to teach them how to sit properly, because all of this is discipline.
Yes.
If you can't even get a child to do anything if they're not disciplined. You have to teach them how to do everything, how to sit down, listen properly, how to write, how to, every little thing. Wow. It may sound like you're talking to them, or do this, do that, but no, it's just gradually saying, John, let's see how best you can sit down so that you won't hurt yourself crouching over. You just teach them those things. It's very important.
Mm-hmm. What are the skill set necessary, Miss Primary School teacher, for a student at 4 or 5 years old to enter grade 1 and be successful?
Well, one thing, before they reach grade 1, they should at least know how to write a little bit of that alphabet so that they can be able to write their name. Because when they are entering grade 1, those things that they're already supposed to be taught, the first grade teachers really don't have that much time to go through that whole process. So they must come in knowing how to be able to form those letters. Because a lot of grade 1 teachers find themselves actually holding their hands. And think about it. If you have up to about 25 to 30 students in your hand, how could you go around and no teacher's aid? Now, first graders should have teacher's aids, but we're talking government school now. So a lot of them don't.
A lot of them don't. But is that something also that has been implemented recently, teacher's aids to assist the teacher?
It should be, and I think the government knows this. When I taught grade 1, I think in my first year, it was we had no teacher's aid. The second year, when I taught grade 1, we had one teacher's aid to share between the 3 classes.
Oh, dang.
And in my third year teaching grade 1, I don't think we had one. So it was a bit
So there's
taxing.
another underexplored career
Yes.
in the education system, teacher's aids.
Yeah, I
That's
think
very important.
it's problematic though, because because we as a society, we as human beings, we sometimes take ideas and they're good, but we don't fully formulate them out, flush them out. So teachers' aids has been an awesome addition to the Bahamian educational system, but it has its challenges, being that I've been one for 11 years, that it's just now becoming, people are now starting to think about it as a career path, and a career path for it by the ministry. Because when I came in, there was some specific programs and stuff that were geared towards teachers that were excellent, but there was none on the level for teachers' aids. When I talk about programs, I mean like in-service award. And what an in-service award is, if you want to upgrade yourself as a teacher, and you have an educational opportunity, you're accepted into a college or to a program, the ministry, and you've done a number of years of service, you can now go into it, and the ministry would give you the time off and pay for you to go to it. that is available option for teachers, but not for teachers' aides. They're now trying to develop it 11 years later.
11 years later.
Yeah. So it's problematic in the fact that we're instituting some stuff and we've not fully worked out where we're going with it.
Right.
So I think teachers' aid is an awesome tool, and we need.
It's an awesome idea,
it's a needed
obviously,
thing.
as you all explained, with a classroom of 25, perhaps even 30 students, that one teacher does need assistance.
Yes.
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 And the teacher's aide performs a very, very, very
critical role
in the whole sort of educating and handling this classroom of students.
And we also have to fight against biasness against teachers' aides, where they think you just come there, you are unintelligent, you are intelligent enough to be a teacher.
Oh, so that is what, so that's also the stigma.
That's the stigma. You have to fight against that.
You're just a teacher's aide.
You're a teacher's aide. Sit in the corner and do what I tell you to do.
My papers.
Yeah.
Oh, the teacher sometimes has this attitude toward the teacher's aide.
The teachers, administrators, the general. You have to now see, in the United States, a teacher's aide is considered a paraprofessional.
Yes.
Yes.
A paraprofessional. So they are treated as if, I don't think I want to be a teacher. Maybe let me be a teacher's aide.
And
it's a viable option.
It's a viable option in a full career.
It's a full career. So now when you now have to align yourself well, the teacher's aide is supposed to assist the teacher, assist in teaching, assist in whatever we're going on. Some teachers are not trained to deal with a teacher's aide as an assistant, where they would bring them into their lesson plan. They would say, okay, we're going to sit down and we're going to accomplish this for this week, and this is how we're going to accomplish it. So you have a tool there that you can't fully use because either A, the teacher's aide has not been trained to function with the teacher, or the teacher's not been trained to function with the teacher's aide.
So I understand what you're saying, Brian. You're saying excellent idea. 11 years, fantastic, but it's never been fleshed out. It is never married properly to say, okay, here's how this works. The teacher and the teacher's aide work well together to really just make life in the classroom a little easier so that everybody benefits.
Yeah.
I think in the Bahamas, not to cut you off, but I think in the Bahamas, we're just gradually catching on to a whole lot of stuff. But we need to pick it up a little bit in the educational system.
Yeah, because now I can honestly say now I've been in meetings and I've sat and I've voiced this opinion to whoever's asked me and whoever I've gotten their ear, and now I've seen people say, okay, let's start the name of the show. Let's start the conversation about it. Let's start to put things in place. So I'm not gonna beat someone down without giving you the full balance of it, because I've heard now rumblings and undertones of, okay, how can we improve the system and what can we put in place?
And Shanique, I just want to piggyback on something you said earlier with reference to the whole regulating of preschools in this country. I think one of the, along with the government, I think that parents have to play a very vital role in helping preschools to be regulated in this country.
So parents need to start lobbying.
Yes, and parents need to play their role in reference to not only choosing a preschool that is convenient to where I work or where I live, but actually making trips to the preschool, ensuring that their child is being taught, and ensuring that their child isn't spending time at the preschool just sitting down having naps. So parents must assist the government in reference to ensuring that the preschools that they're sending their children to are properly regulated, that they are following the guidelines. Because when you look at some of these ads for preschools, private preschools specifically, you see they have where preschool students are learning how to swim, learning Spanish, learning musical instruments, and as a parent looking at the poster, they just seem excited. But I mean, I think very little parents actually take the opportunity or the time to actually conduct site visits to actually ensure that their children are doing more than just sleeping.
And what about a reputable institution? I mean, I imagine the preschools attached to primary schools, whether they be private or public, maybe are a better option, eh?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of them are doing what they're supposed to do. We don't want to make it seem as if they are not in the Bahamas. A lot of them are. But we just want to say, for those who are not, they need to just step it up a notch.
Well, Chanel, let me tell you something. You quite diplomatic, but if for the minister, to come on to the nation and say, your 4- and 5-year-old it cannot even survive grade 1, they're ill-equipped. then that means there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And he said he wants to get tablets into the hands of the preschoolers.
Now we're going to talk about that, because do teachers think that's a good idea to put tablets into the hand? Now, mind you, I'll tell you this, your 2-year-old asking you what the password for the Wi-Fi is. So they obviously got some information when it comes to technology. But is that the best thing, to have tablets into the hands or in the hands of your preschool student? We are going to take a break. Yes, Margaret, I see it. We're going to take a first break this afternoon. It's the back to school session. That's right, my teacher round table, and I have wonderful teachers here from primary school and high schools talking about education today, and just a whole lot of stuff that we are addressing and talking about today. Stay exactly where you are. This is The Conversation. We're going to take a first break and come back with much more. Stay close.
When I was small, Uncle Jerome used to come by to help me with my homework. He'd take me out for ice cream and ask me to sit on his lap. It felt uncomfortable, but I couldn't tell Auntie Candace. She might get mad at me.
Let's talk. Call the Bahamas Crisis Center's free 24-hour hotline at 328-0922. Sometimes a conversation can change a life.
Did you bring the thing?
What thing?
Protection.
Come on, man. You really want to ruin the moment with that?
I actually think it will help the moment. No worries. Now we can continue. Next time, step your game up.
At Myden's Wholesale, the concept is simple. The more you buy, the more you save. Yes, the more you buy, the more you save. This means that at Myden's Wholesale, when you buy in the same group 3 products, you get 15% off, 6 products, 20% off, and 12 products or more, 33% off. Myden's provides you with the largest selection of pantyhose, socks, t-shirts, school supplies, underwear, and much, much more. You can also sign up to be a reseller of BTC and Digicel top-up and to save 33% on your purchase at Myden's Wholesale. We also ship to the Family Islands, and that's not all, because when you shop at Myden's, you can pay your utility bills, send MoneyGram, RIA transfer, and purchase tickets from Sky Bahamas and Western Air. So visit Myden's Wholesale today at any of 3 locations, East Street South, Robinson Road, or Lower Bogey, Luthra. Call 325-4434 or 676-4435.
For the latest news and highlights in Bahamian culture, tune in to the new Junkadoo 242, Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network. Radio Bahamas 1540 a.m. on 104.5 FM and TV 13. Each week, hosts Arlene Nash Ferguson, Eric Hall, and Darren Bastian engages listeners with some of the movers and shakers of Junkadoo and Bahamian culture. Don't miss Junkadoo 242, Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network.
When a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, it's extremely important to be prepared and know just what to do. Stay informed about the storm's path by listening to the radio or television for hurricane progress reports. Check emergency food and household supplies. Be sure you have extra batteries for your flashlights and radios. Bring in outdoor things like lawn furniture and garden tools. Anchor objects that cannot be brought inside. Secure buildings by closing and boarding up windows. Remove outside antennas and satellite dishes. Turn refrigerators and freezers to the coldest settings. Open only when absolutely necessary and close quickly. Purchase ice and store it in an ice chest. Keep drinking water in clean jugs and bottles. Clean your bathtub with bleach and fill it with water for washing and flushing, not for drinking. Making sure to keep the bathroom door closed so small children cannot access the filled tub. Do not go out to videotape or take photos of the storm. Stay inside and take those pictures from where it's safe and dry. There's no harm in being overly cautious where a hurricane is concerned. It is truly better to be safe than sorry. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
We are their mentor. And when we live long enough to see them succeed, then we know that we have done a great thing, because that's what we're here for.
Once we get to the kids and we can get Jesus in their heart, then if only we affect one child, that child goes to school in the neighborhood where they might have at least 30 children in the class, and time they spread that good joy, that would be tremendous.
Playing 1 and 20. I'm trying to see who is it by, but 1 and 20. She always right in tune.
Bahamas National Youth Choir.
I figured, but I didn't want to guess. I didn't want to go out there and say that, because then they'll call me and say, "Girl, what school you went to?" But Bahamas National Choir, yeah, absolutely. We had a question come in, guys, and welcome back to the conversation. This is the teacher roundtable before teachers head back to the classroom. Of course, they go back to the classroom next Monday. And what goes on that week of when you all go back?
Well, for primary school, and I'm thinking for high school as well, but we go in, we have workshops, because a teacher must always be a learner. So anything that's changing, we must know about. The administrators bring it to the table. We have discussions, and we also have to fix up our classrooms.
What do you mean fix up? I thought when they say the campuses are ready, that they
no,
were ready.
Coming to fix up, I mean, in the classroom, you pretty up with the nice charts.
Yeah. Particular theme, you don't going with the year.
If you want a theme.
Also, you all set themes and color schemes and
oh yeah.
To make our classrooms beautiful and attractive when our kids come in. So we have superpower theme. I mean, superheroes themes.
Yeah.
My theme this year is going to be a Bahamian cultural theme. So make sure it's nice and pretty with all of our wonderful flag colors.
So even the classroom itself.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Even the classroom itself is a learning tool.
Yeah.
It's a teaching tool.
Yeah. Even the teacher is a learning tool. Now, how I teach primary school, I go to school dressed for my lessons.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I am portraying a role, I dress like that, and so I'll be dressed like that for the whole day. So if I'm doing a character in a particular lesson, a social studies lesson, I have to wear Bahamian colors, or I have to act like a particular character, a cartoon character in a story. I dress that, so I dress that way from when I enter.
That's
you
awesome.
have to keep them
engaged.
So when I enter the classroom, they're like, "Woo!" and I was like, "What you teaching today?"
How challenging is it to keep the kids' attention? Because the minister be going to go back to that idea that he tossed out there. But how challenging is it from primary to all the way up to high school? Is it to keep kids' attention?
Very good question. Now, you have to capture their attention that very first month. That is the month, that's September. You do not smile with them. You be friendly with them. But you let them know who's the boss and who's in charge. And you let them know the rules. So that whole September is them getting to know you getting to know them, but you letting them know these are the things that we will do for the rest of the year.
So this is why so many teachers look, especially the female teachers, just look vexed like you all got issues. Because I want to know if it's the same. I want to know if it's the same for the male teachers.
But you do it in a friendly way, because you don't want them to be like, "Oh my goodness, my new teacher is scaring me." No, you just let them know who's the boss.
You don't want to frighten them, but you want them to be cognizant that you're the adult and the authority figure in the room.
So I bet you just act like you don't even smile.
Me? No, I'm the nicest person in the world. But when I speak with authority, they understand that, okay, stop it now. Because bear in mind, I interact with I have special needs children is who I interact with mostly, but I also interact with the regular school as well. And I'm a youth leader at my church.
So you bring all of that,
all those tools to bear.
Yeah.
I'm not nice though. I'm not nice. I'm very, very mean, very rude.
I don't see that.
I set the pace for my class. Oh, trust me, I am very, very mean.
But he's also the bleeding heart.
But yeah, I have a good heart. I have a very good heart. But of course, the first month is very critical in the life of all teachers and all students. You have to set the pace for your entire school year.
Yes.
I think earlier she talked about discipline, and so you have to set the tone to get a disciplined classroom. Once the classroom is disciplined, your students are focused, and once your students are focused, they're going to be successful. And so it is critical during the first few weeks of your new term for teachers to set the pace for their classes by instilling strong discipline so that kids can be focused so that they can be successful. If we don't do that, then we're going to have a whole lot of unsuccessful children. I'm certain that our country can't afford that.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Shoes. Not with this DNF happening. But during the break, a question came in. Margaret Elizabeth told me about it. People want to know, especially as we're talking about the teacher's aide. What are the qualifications for that? How do you even get into that role?
There is the University of the Bahamas has a teacher's aid program. If someone is interested, they can just go to the to UB, fill an application form, and they can complete that program. I think the program lasts for about a year and a half. Once that person has completed that program, they can then apply to the Ministry of Education, who will willingly accept them. You know that we are always looking for new and persons who are interested in teaching. And so that is one of the ways. And I'm certain that other institutions, such as BBC and others, would have training programs for teachers' aides.
Mm-hmm. Especially males. Is there still a man shortage in teachers?
There is still a man shortage, but the men who are there, you know, we pull our weight, we represent, you know. So
Kathalina says, everything Chanel said, in fact, let me start sooner. Myrtle Cartwright says, hi. I must say, not all preschools are bad. My kids attend the National Academy Preschool. The kids can read, write, and pass with flying colors when they take exams for grade 1 in primary school, she is saying. So that's awesome. She is saying that the preschool her kids go to does an amazing job. Catalina says, everything Chanel Pende is saying is true, but what are we as parents doing to further instill these same lessons to our children at home? Too many times our parents would say, oh, this is a terrible teacher. He or she isn't a teacher or teaching my child right, etc. But that parent should go over the child's lessons with them, whether it's math, reading, spelling, or whatever subject area. You find that's not happening, eh?
Our parents,
as a whole,
when they think of education, it's not paramount in their lives. So the children see that. So when they come to us, they act like education isn't too important. So our parents really need to show that they care about their children's education because they need it when they become adults. And that's why when they become adults, the children are not properly ready for the world. And I'm not, notice I didn't say ready for the Bahamas, ready for the world.
The world, because that's what it is now. It's a global village.
We don't just stay here. You shouldn't just want to stay in the Bahamas. You should want to venture out anywhere you want to. And so we have to, as parents and teachers, collaborate together and prepare our children for the world.
And even when parents find themselves in situations where it is that they don't understand the subject matter, such as science and math, because if you look at some of the primary school curriculums that we have now, Shanique, the math and the science is required.
The math, you all talking about, Jeff Lloyd, the minister say, how the journey and do it in grade 1. I imagine that math in grade 1 is what I had in college.
Yes, it is.
That's a mild exaggeration, but what I'm trying to say is it is a different level, and that is why I said it's competition now. It's competitive. It's a different thing that's required.
And that's why I think it's imperative, even if parents are having difficulty in that subject matter, for them to find perhaps someone in the community, someone like yourself who is well learned, who can assist that
tutor
child,
or something.
Something.
Yeah.
It's like this. Education, your child's education is an investment.
It's an investment.
And no one takes their money, whether you bank at whichever banking institution, Commonwealth Bank, Bank of the Bahamas, where you take your money, you do not just put your money there and we Bahamians, we check our money. We need a bank book. The other day when RBC went totally digital, we was in uproar because we need to be able to check our bank book and to check on our money. Don't mess with our money. What if we took the same attitude with our kids' education and check on our kids' education and make sure that we're getting a return on our investment? Because you're not just investing for today. You're investing for 20 years down the road. And you're not just investing in your child. You're investing in the future of your society.
Yes.
You're investing. This is a deep thing. So we need to, parents, they did a study in the United States where they were determining the age-old debate, whether private school or public school, which one is better. They checked and they checked and they did extensive research and they found that it's 50-50, basically.
I agree.
They checked
the same performance, the
same performance.
Because if a child, a student in private school and their parents have that lax attitude and not checking, it's the same outcome. And this same study also determined that it was 50-50 as it relates to millionaires, whether they went to public school or private school. Now, when they dug deeper, they found the determining factor was their parents' involvement.
Yes.
It was like 96% of the millionaires that they polled, their parents were involved in their educational investment.
Which means if a child does not even attend preschool at all and then goes into grade 1, and if that child who does not attend preschool and was just with the parent, and that parent was at home training that child, because remember, parents are the first teachers.
Yes.
And when you have that tablet or that phone in that child's hand, and you always have it on things that they can learn the sounds of the alphabet, or little songs, nursery rhymes that they could attach to things in life, and you constantly talking to them or putting a pencil in their hand, although they may not have been to preschool and only in your house, that parent who has been helping that child still could have that child prepared for grade 1.
I agree.
So parents are very important.
Yeah, parents are important, and the first teachers, well, they are teachers all our lives, but the first teachers, and they can successfully get their kids through 1st to 12th grade.
And they could demand things in preschool, they can demand things in primary school, they could demand things in high school that they want to see in the educational system.
When I first went to work at Anatole Rogers, it was a very, very, very new school. So much, in fact, that the roof had just been put on. And in our unit, we needed certain things. Our unit was the first to have, we had internet, we had a bed if the kids would have seizures, or we had a fridge, we had microwave, we had a big screen TV. And guess where all these things came from? Parents. They did not wait for the Ministry of Education to send them. They came in, they brought the stuff. One parent came in and noticed that the it was a little hot in the class. Next thing we noticed, a bunch of fans showed up. So I know that not everyone's pockets is that deep, but just the concern of what is my child environment like? How can I assist? How can I partner with the school in making this a conducive environment for my child?
Because education is a partnership. Parents must understand that we work together. I think if parents would work more closely with teachers, we'll have a better working relationship. And so parental involvement is extremely important. I can recall myself as a child growing up on the island of Abaco, going to school. My mother wasn't an educated woman. My mother was a cook. My father was a fisherman, and we didn't have much. And I'm a proud product of going to a public school, and I know it is to watch my mother basically push me through high school. My mother would randomly just show up at my high school unexpectedly to check on my teeth, to check on me to make sure I was doing good. And so parental involvement is extremely important. I think that if it wasn't for my mother's constantly pushing me, constantly checking up on me, then perhaps I would be a different individual. I would perhaps, be under the dock, asking you for your number, Shanique.
I know. That was not going to happen. No.
You would give me a number, Shanique?
The answer is no.
Really?
All of it.
Really?
Really?
And also, when teachers contact parents for what I notice, if I'm contacting a parent, sometimes they are a bit defensive. They're thinking their child has done something wrong. What has he done? What has she done?
It's not always that, eh?
No.
Sweetie, I'm calling to let you know what good your child did today.
Yeah.
I know that your child was always a CD student. And I've noticed for the past 2-3 weeks, she has been getting a lot of B's. I'm calling to let you know that keep encouraging your child.
Positive
And so
reinforcement.
they'll be like, oh, really?
Yes,
so they're always thinking the teacher's calling for something negative. Our parents need to think that our children, their children, can be positive.
Absolutely. As we go to the break, here is Juanca Lewis says, good afternoon, Shanique, and to your guests. When the Ministry of Education opened preschools, whether attached to a primary school or not, they were qualified preschool teachers. I also agree that some teachers and administrators do think that the aides are to stay in their lane. Teachers' aides are a vital component in our schools, especially at the preschool level. Catalina says, when my daughter was little and in preschools, I would work 10 to 14 hours a day. And as tired as I was, I would get home and get involved, whatever it was. Parents need to take it up a notch. And besides, when my daughter entered first grade at 5 years old, she was so advanced, the administrators wanted to put her in second grade. Today, she is now a 22-year-old Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine with 10 BJCs and BGCSEs combined with 8 A's, 1 B and 1 C. Amazing. Congratulations, Catalina. She says, I encourage other parents to get involved and push your children. It's rough, but it's worth it. Hello to you, Linda, watching from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Big hello to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay exactly where you are. We're going to get to more of your messages on the live stream on Facebook. By the way, we're also streaming live on YouTube. That's right, ZNS Network. Follow us there. We're going to take a break and come up with more of the conversation. Stay close.
This show will take you there, yeah. Taking it step by step, living your best life yet, getting stronger and living longer. Let's figure out the questions for ya. I need a little conversation. You need a little conversation. When you need a little inspiration, tune into the conversation.
Together, they engage in a range of activities which may seem simple, but have the potential to give Sophronia the head start she needs.
In terms of this program, yes, it's going on in some islands across the Caribbean, but on the wider level, clearly, how important is that whole issue of the early childhood development?
I lived in fear for my life. I lived in fear for my children. I lived in fear of how I'd provide for them. I thought that he would change when he promised he would, and I forgave him every time he said that he was sorry. I became devalued as a human being until one day I ceased to exist as one.
Let's talk. Call the Bahamas Crisis Center's free 24-hour hotline at 328-0922. Sometimes a conversation can change a life.
I do have children, I do, and a wife, and it's kind of cool. You know, I see them like every day. You know, because they got to come downstairs. So
the best part about being married is single people. Single people always got to let you know how single they is. They can't just be single. Single people got to stop everything. Let me tell you something. I am single. I come and go as I please. I got to call nobody. I got to check in. This is my house, my car. I am single.
Out of nowhere, right? You get them father-son moments. It's all powerful. You feel like my son looks. He's only 4. Right. Looked at me. He said, "Dad, I want to be a doctor." Yes. Yes. Right? Then he said, or a dinosaur.
Coming to you from Hollywood, almost live, it's Comics Unleashed, Hot Chocolate, with your host, Byron Allen.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
G&M Appliances on Robinson Road has all your air conditioning needs this summer, like the Comfort Star 9000 and 12,000 BTU 13 SEER for just $399. Or how about the Comfort Star 18,000 BTU just $599? Or how about the Comfort Star 24,000 or 36,000 at the lowest prices possible? We also carry a large selection of air conditioning parts such as fans, compressors, filters, capacitors, or any part you may need. So, call today at 328-2083. We're located on Robinson Road.
Welcome back to the conversation. I am so happy to have as my special guest this afternoon. Of course, this is the annual Teacher Roundtable as teachers prepare. Are private school teachers back to school already?
Yes, some of them are back to school.
Some of them are.
NTA, I think, is back.
NTA is back.
Definitely.
Yeah. Government schools go back to school teachers on Monday. And so, yeah, this is the annual conversation to talk about education, to talk about the state of education, to talk about their readiness and what they do and have done. Of course, thank you, Margaret Elizabeth. Get involved by Dr. Off. Let's go back to some messages on social media. Monique in Chicago says, I hope the kids aren't listening to all the tactics of the first day. Child, listen, Margaret, or something. They'd be like, oh, they trying to really flex their muscles. Let me show them. Portia says, in the beginning, Portia, of course, is a teacher in Palm Beach. In the beginning of the new school year, students will try you, so you have to be ready for them. Set the tone from day one. Catalina says, I appreciate and applaud and support teachers 100%. Hello to you, Audra, and thank you all so much for watching. Share the video, continue your comments, let them come so that we can, continue just to kind of put the questions and the ideas and participation to the experts around the table. Thoughts about the minister saying he wants tablets in the hands of your 2, 3, 4-year-old?
Well, having tablets in the hands of these little ones is a good idea because guess what? At home, they already have the tablets in their hands. So they know how to use them. And when they get to school, they can use them as well because everything that they do should be something that helps them to grow in knowledge. Now, what has to happen is that tablet should not be the tool for the entire day. There are many other things that are scheduled during the day. So you shouldn't walk into a class 3 or 4 times during the day and only see the tablet being used in the child's hand.
On their tablets, just straight through.
Yes.
Yeah. I think as it relates to that, I think, like we said earlier, having a good idea and walking it out is 2 different things. I think it's a good idea, it's a good tool, just need to make sure that we walk it out properly. It doesn't make sense to have the tablets in the hands of the students if the teachers are not trained properly to use them. If the locks are not in place, there are not locks in place to make sure that they don't wander all over the place.
Very important.
And also, you have a tablet and then your classroom has no internet.
Oh, dear Jesus.
Very important.
Is the Ministry of Education in the 21st century?
Yes, it is. I think
you're answering very fast. You're answering too fast.
Shanique, I think over the summer.
My school has not had.
Hold on. So it just came in the 21st century over the summer? What you said?
Shanique, let me help you, okay? The Ministry of Education over the summer break has embarked on a digital exercise. So all of our schools in New Providence, they have internet access.
Stop. What you said? Chanel, what you said?
The internet access, meaning, yes, the wiring and all those things are in place.
Exactly.
But can you use it?
No. Yes, you can.
At my school, we have not been able to use the Wi-Fi
for the entire school. I'm going to make a phone call to...
the years before, we have been able, but the whole of last year, we have probably had 10% use of the Wi-Fi, which means 90%
Did you
of
call
the
the
time.
Ministry of Education?
Of course you did. Listen,
No, she didn't call. So another
question. What I say is that in the 21st
Every
century,
meeting I was bringing that up.
It's just so. Is it very just a lot of red tape and not much getting done? Is it everybody is just confined to their little corner? I mean, because education should be. I've heard so many people say, listen, why not make education now for who is academically inclined, who is technically inclined, who is skills inclined, but has the ministry moved toward these various areas?
We have, Shanique, 2 years ago, the Ministry of Education started the National High School Diploma. The National High School Diploma, we have different pathways, and so we have our technical students.
How effective has that been?
It has been extremely effective. We are evolving, Shanique, as you are aware. We're evolving, and so, of course, we have challenges, Shanique, but we're working on those challenges.
Working through the challenges?
We're working through those challenges to ensure that, you know, our students receive the best. As you're aware, Shanique, education, our main goal is to ensure that our students receive the best. Yeah. And so with our challenges, Shanique, we are working toward to ensure that every student that walks out of our classrooms and they enter the world, that they are prepared, whether the person wants to be a doctor, a lawyer, a fisherman, a banker. The Ministry of Education has put in place programs to ensure that our kids are successful, Shanique.
Listen,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think
we have opportunities. Thank you, Minister of Education for 2020.
No, he ain't going for that. He's trying to go for the permanent secretary position. Who has that position? Watch your back. What's coming. Listen, stay exactly where you are. We're going to pick up right with you, Brian, when we come back. So appreciate you tuning in, guys. Go follow the live feed on YouTube, ZNS Network. Also, thank you so much for peeping in on ZNSnews.com official Facebook page. And of course, hey, ZNS Television 211, and we have 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and 810 AM in Grand Bahama. Hello to you wherever you're watching. Stay exactly where you are. The news at 5 is straight ahead.
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Together, they engage in a range of activities which may seem simple, but have the potential to give Symphonia the head start she needs.
In terms of this program, yes, it's going on in some islands across the Caribbean, but on the wider level, clearly, how important is that whole issue of the early childhood development?
Live, weather, sports, and entertainment. Wake up with the Morning Edition. Weekdays, 7 a.m., right here on the ZNS Television Network.
As an artist, I travel all over the world, and I find inspiration all around me. From the people, and especially the environment. I love the Bahamas with all its natural beauty. From Abaco in the north to Inagua in the south, and all the wonderful and colorful islands in between. But we must all do our part to keep the Bahamas healthy and clean, now and for the future generations. That's why I want you to find a little time to do your part. I'm doing my part because I care. Do you?
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
This is ZNS News Update, live at 5 o'clock. Good afternoon, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Here's what's making news at this hour. Press Secretary Anthony Newbold confirming during his weekly press conference today the Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis, will be traveling to the Turks and Caicos Islands this Thursday to meet with officials of the Beaches Resort to pitch the idea to open a facility under that brand here in the Bahamas. Minister of Labor, Senator the Honorable Dion Fowlkes, responding to claims by Bahamas Electrical Workers Union President Paul Maynard on the government's decision to hire foreign workers at the Bahamas Power and Light Company's Clifton Pier plant. Minister Fowlkes said he spoke to the BEWU president as well as the minister responsible for BPL on the issue, but says he's unsure of the outcome. And Member of Parliament for Bain and Grantstown, Travis Robinson, has been selected as a nominee for the One Young Politician of the Year award. One Young World was founded in 2009 and is a United Kingdom-based charity that gathers together the brightest young leaders from around the world, empowering them to make lasting connections to create positive change. The 2018 One Young World Summit will take place in The Hague in the Netherlands from October 17th through the 20th. This is your ZNS News Update live at 5 o'clock. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Thanks for watching.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Life is better on the conversation. Tune into the conversation. I need a little conversation.
People talking to?
Yes,
Hey,
absolutely.
can you recognize me?
Yeah, sure. Give me their name.
There's no name. Yeah.
By the way, I'm talking to my YouTube audience. YouTube audience, hello, how are you? I know a lot of you are... Helen Johnson, big hello to you. Listen, that YouTube audience is thriving and they are watching in big numbers. By the way, if you don't want to watch on Facebook or television, you could go to YouTube, ZNS Bahamas. ZNS Bahamas is the YouTube channel. We are streaming live there as well. Big hello to all of y'all. Share the video. Have a comment. Tay-Tay, big hello to you, Tay-Tay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yep, listen, that's right. ZNS Bahamas, subscribe, have a comment, and you say hello, I say hello back. You have a question for the teachers, I will certainly put it to them. Okay? Also, Facebook audience, big hello to all y'all. Hello to you, Elsie. Hi, Lady J. Good day to you as well. Today, we're talking to teachers who are headed back to school. They say they're ready too. Even though one said, if the ministry could just work out a little extra 2 months.
Just 2 more months.
Yeah, just 2 more months.
That'll be fine.
2 more months vacation. That they would be very happy. With pay. Y'all really, do y'all think this is a game, eh?
No, that's only one person saying that now.
No, Chanel says she ready to go back, so she's in love with her.
When he becomes the permanent secretary.
I don't understand, because first of all, he's really lobbying very hard for a position, and then don't want to work.
I'm not lobbying for positions. The reality is, we've been working extremely hard. I applaud the policy makers at the Ministry of Education. They've been doing an exceptional job. We have our challenges, but the reality is, we have been doing exceptionally well. Okay.
Yes, of course, yes. I applaud the ministry and the minister and the successive ministers, because I know really to manage a ministry like education with it, and there's the Department of Education and all the other things, the various school districts and all the stuff. It's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, it's akin to being a CEO.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is a very some of the things people don't like about the ministry. You have to realize that it's bureaucracy, but it's because there's so many moving parts and so many components that sometimes it takes a while for stuff to trickle down. And I understand that, so...
Hello to you, Audra. Audra is also watching on Facebook.
Hi, Audra, my strawberry.
Oh, that's his wife. That's right. Yes. So you're nothing like a smart... He was a smart teacher.
Yes.
Very, very intelligent.
I have to be smart. I married her.
He has to go home tonight.
He has to go, and he understands that. Ain't nothing better than a man who can understand that.
So, Shanique, hey, Shanique.
Hey, what you saying? How you doing?
Are we doing shout-outs now? I have a husband. I can shout out.
Yes. Hey, but only if your husband is watching the live feed.
Yes, he is.
Okay, right ahead.
Hubert Alonso Pinder Jr.
Hallelujah.
She loves you.
See me?
Yes. And she came looking extra cute so that you can really look, you know, and see her looking wonderful. I want you to sit up nicely and just be very, very prompt and sexy, Miss Primary School teacher.
Should I see you, okay?
Yes, of course, absolutely, Del. You've got that. You have to let the country know it.
Well,
you know what I
so
mean?
we transitioned from back to school to dating line.
To dating, to hook up.
All right,
hook up, right? Miss Mannings, thank you so much for holding. Welcome to the conversation.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, my minister got off. I just want to graduate. I think it's Brian.
Brian, yes.
I think his name is Brian.
Yes.
The special teacher, special young man.
Yes, ma'am.
He knows about ozone. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
He knows about ozone, my special autistic boy.
Pardon me?
You remember my autistic son, Ozone?
Oh, her son.
Oh, your son Ozone?
Yes.
I don't know him personally, but I've seen him.
Yeah, you've seen him. I'm going to phone me to hire you for him. Because we can't find anybody else to deal with the special.
So you've heard about Brian and the job he does there, huh?
I called the right name, and he should be the stapler.
No, ma'am, I was not.
Hopedale.
No, I was at Anatol for my full 11 years.
Oh, no, I missed the wrong boy then.
Yes, ma'am.
Just like my daughter, Hopedale.
Okay.
Hopedale too.
Okay.
Just start breaking up.
Yeah, your phone is breaking up very bad.
Yeah, the connection is not clear at all. It's a bit muffled.
Well, he sounds like the Hopedale boy.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yes, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Munnings. Thank you so much. The numbers to call in today are 325-5403, 325-5404, 325-5405. If you're calling from the Family Islands or anywhere toll free, 1242-300-8255, 1242-300-8255. And so we talked about should the kids at preschool level be given tablets,
yeah.
And the answer, you all agree, why not? It's a part of sort of the new way of learning.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's a good thing. Talk about the fact that schools are now outfitted with Wi-Fi and that kind of thing, and those that aren't are on the way.
They're on the way.
And they just need to maintain it and keep it running.
We have
That's
a new
important.
deputy director who is responsible for technology, Mr. Julian Anderson, at the Ministry of Education.
He used to be at R. Bailey, eh?
Yeah, he used to be the principal of R. Bailey Senior High School. Now he is the deputy director, responsible, for technology. And he, along with his team, they are ensuring that every single primary school, junior school, high school in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, from Inagua in the south to Grand Bahama in the north, are outfitted with technology. So all teachers around this country can assure that once we hit those campuses on Monday, that we will have Wi-Fi connection.
Listen now.
We will be connected,
Delvano, you here speaking like you're really some administrator in the ministry.
Hallelujah.
Because
I'm aware as to what's going on.
You know them teachers
as
be sending out this. Well, that's good though. I'm happy to hear it. I'm really, really happy
By the way,
to hear it. Now, when do kids begin falling through the cracks? Because we can't seem to shake this failing grade. I know it's been tried to explain it, and we shouldn't even give it a national grade average anymore, and all this stuff you're thinking about. But the truth of the matter is, the kids, the graduating young adults are not at all able to compete. And as you said before, you put your hands on your fingers on your lips. Then forget these borders. Because we have access to the world, and the world has access to the Bahamas, and so you're competing not against the person who looks like you, but somebody else from anywhere, they are not able to compete. They're not able to go and even fill out an application form sufficiently and properly to even get in the door to some of these jobs.
Well, one thing that the government, I noticed this year, with the school leaving diploma, their plan is they had that in there where you actually have a course where you have to fill out an application form. They show you how to do it. And that's very important because, like you said, they go
unemployable. I remember being a reporter, and this was a few years ago. I went a Family Island assignment, and from then that word unemployable was being used. I understand now it's much worse.
And they show them how to make out a letter to your employer. They show them how to make the resumes, so that they know everything that is necessary to present to the employer. My daughter had to do it. She just finished 12th grade. And so before she left, she had two portfolios which had everything in it. All she had to do was just pick it up and take it when she go anywhere. Everything is in it.
So Shanique, that actually shows that over the years we see that the Ministry of Education has been listening to our public-private partners, and we have been doing everything possible to ensure that once our students graduate, Shanique, that they're ready for the world, that our students are employable, that they have the skills that are necessary to be employable for those who desire to be employed and those who desire to go to college. And so the ministry has been working aggressively to ensure, Shanique, that our kids are ready for the world.
What can be done? And I'm not laying this at the ministry's door, or maybe I should at the doorstep of teachers. What can be done to change this grade point average? I don't care how we try to explain it away and do whatever, but you don't just lump it together and then the reason it is and then the curve and the this and that.
Do you know that everything is mental? A lot of our children think a certain way. They are a bit laid back.
Very much
and they
so.
need to change their mindset.
Yes.
Because you could tell somebody every single day how to act, but until they want to change their mind, they won't.
I agree. Does everybody agree with that? I mean, because the thing is, like, how do we shake that? How do we get us to be? And mind you, the traditional careers aren't at all the fastest growing careers at all. But in order to even just have a 4X career, you're going to have to apply yourself somewhat and be able to read and comprehend and all this stuff.
Which means that even if you're not ready for the outside world, you could even begin your own little job. I see people all the time trying to do things for themselves to make money. So it's all up to the person.
Yeah. We didn't get in this position overnight. And so there's no overnight solution. And we got in this position with a complex number of factors.
Yeah, give me an example of one or two of them.
One or two of the factors, we've had a large percentage of people who are now I was trying to figure out the Delvano way to say this diplomatically.
Don't yourself, because Delvano getting roasted on social media now. You don't have to.
But we have a complex issue where we have now a large amount of young people who are parenting themselves. We have young people who are parenting themselves, even though their parents are there, working professionals. They are still parenting themselves because their parents are so involved in their profession now that they're not involved in their child's development hands-on like our parents used to. Like Delvano said earlier, my mother was a janitress. And she was a janitress.
And that was no excuse for you to be an underachiever.
As a matter of fact, it put more pressure on me, because not pressure, but more drive for me to excel.
Yes.
And in fact, I had an aunt that was a principal, who became a principal. She bought me books instead of toys.
And then
like
I think this needs to be the new gift.
I had.
I agree.
Yeah.
When they used to do the Encyclopedia Britannica, that's what I got for present. Full set of Encyclopedia Britannica. So before the internet, I used to research. The library was my best friend. And not saying that I had a boring life.
But you think kids know about library nowadays? They ain't never know that.
Dr. Google.
Yeah, Google. Mind you, that's good. It's more convenient, whatever. But use Google for what it can be for. It's a powerful research engine.
But that's what we have to teach them. We have to now give them guidelines and show that, okay, we have to teach them research skills now. Not everything that you see on Google is true.
True.
You have to ferret that out and have to weed out information now. You have to now be taught this new world that we're walking into. How to be capable of mastering technology, mastering globalization, mastering the fact that now I no longer have a monopoly on I'm sure I can have a job because my cousin can let me in through the back door. You have to perform on these jobs now.
And I'll tell you, I love it. I love you saying, Brian, saying that, because so what? It's great if your cousin could get you in the door. What you gonna do? Like, people always, you know, the complaint here, I don't know if it still happens a lot, but your politician got you in.
Yes.
Can you perform now?
What happens when your cousin leaves?
Exactly.
Do you also leave the job too?
Yeah, because why? You were just coasting along and doing and just doing nothing for that time period.
Right.
So the thing is, fine, we all would love a nice favor, but can you perform? And then how about when you get there, being able to apply yourself, learn the skill set necessary to perform sufficiently and effectively in that area, and move forward.
So, but getting back to the original question, we're talking about the variety of factors that plays into our low average. Also, too, you now have where, in the increase in technology, these children are now seeing a lifestyle, this flashy lifestyle, this ghetto fabulous lifestyle.
Yeah, so they see Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott.
Yes.
And they figure, well, if she could sell makeup.
This is how life is. I don't need to have any. Why go to school when I can live the ghetto fab lifestyle? You know, when I don't need education to be rich, but they don't realize, bruh, sis, that's 1 in a billion shot. Life ain't like that. That's what you see on TV and on, I think it was edited. It's glamorized.
Scripted.
Scripted.
Yes, very contrived.
Yeah.
Hello to you, Sherry. Thank you very much for holding. Welcome to the conversation.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi. Turn your television down, please, Sherry.
Oh, it's down. Sorry about that. I would like to speak because I'm a teacher.
Yes.
And I would like to say that every government that comes in has an unbalanced equation when it comes to improving the kids in this country. I say that because technology is fine, but technology, in my opinion, is not the answer. You asked the gentleman, what are some of the reasons for the low average?
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at the teacher side of the equation. The teacher comes to school, teaches well, prepares the kids, gives them all kinds of notes, this, that, the next. The teacher may even use technology to make the lesson more interesting. But what the Ministry of Education always seems to be missing is there's the other side of the equation, the student. As a teacher, I can tell you some variables are some students never, ever have their books. No textbook. Okay, yes, the government has textbooks that can be used during class, but that is not enough. How can you do your homework assignment if you have no textbook? Okay? Many students are constantly absent. They're missing work all of the time, and then when exam time comes, they're lost. Thirdly, parents. Back in the day, previous generation, Bahamian parents did not accept disrespect of teachers by their children or any adult. Today, parents are coming to school, cursing out teachers, carrying on anything a child tells their parent now, the parent ready to come and fight. Right now, we have a bunch of no man. I'm not saying all, but if you go in the school, and you know, as a teacher, I thought when this new administration came in, the minister would have met with teachers to hear what teachers have to say.
Hold on. So Sherry, that meeting never took place?
But not to my knowledge, because teachers are the ones in the trenches. Technology is not the answer, Shanique. Because when you have children coming in grade 7 who can't sound out the word milk, they say from with M, then obviously something is very wrong.
Wow.
What our children need is back to basics. You must know how to read, how to write, how to comprehend. That's what the children are really missing. Sure, okay, technology is only the icing on the cake. You understand what I'm saying? Once you have that foundation, you could do anything. But if I teach a bunch of children who cannot read and we use technology, and yes, it's fun, but at the end of the day, can you pass your BJCs? Can you pass your BGCSEs? No. Then you know what? Let's not follow these other countries, you know. We need to go back old school. When I was in primary school, the primary was excellent back then. They taught me phonics. I learned how to sound out words. I was in the library. Now toddlers have cell phones. watching pornography, everybody watching all kind of stuff. No, guess what? Parents are not parenting. The equation is not balanced. Let's stop blaming teachers for everything. Yes, teachers have a role to play, yes. But if I prepare you and I have your book full of notes and I give you all these handouts, but if you choose to go home and not study and apply what I taught you, what is there left for me to do? I cannot take the exam for you. Let's stop trying to put a Band-Aid on this big problem. Shanique, remember now, in the public school, everybody takes the exam.
Yes,
Kids who can't read, take it. Kids who can't even write the letter M, take it. Whereas in the private schools, you know, the private schools select their kids. My thing is, I thought we would have finally come to a point where we had vocational schools for those kids who by grade 6 we see, you know, everybody's not academically inclined.
Exactly, Sherry. Sherry, you're right.
Let's teach them a trade and the basic math and English.
Yes.
And let's push the academically inclined kids along that path. But see, we keep doing the same thing over and over.
The same
and
thing.
get the same
thing and getting the same results, you know, and you call that stupid.
Everybody is not going to be
Thank
a
you,
doctor,
Sherry. Thank you.
lawyer,
And that is
teacher.
and that's the question I put forward. Has that system been implemented, and isn't it overdue when everybody gonna get?
We've talked about that for years.
And it frustrates the child.
It frustrates the
because
child as well.
they know what their strengths are, and the teacher can bring out their strengths. But if we have a educational system where you have to just follow this particular path, the children are frustrated. They know that they can do something better. Everything is not academic.
I totally agree with you. You know, and the thing is, even for example, I know it's maybe difficult to steer a child, but those who are not academically inclined, we need, go be the next rich farmer in the Bahamas.
Yes.
We need food security. There are many areas in this country that need shoring up.
That comes to also to exposure as well, because a lot of our children aren't exposed to the fact that you can be an entrepreneur. And you can actually be an educated entrepreneur. When I say educated, you know your craft very well.
Yes.
You are a master of your craft. And somehow in the Bahamas, we've developed a culture of servitude where we look forward to...
go to the next hotel job.
To the hotel
Margaret,
job.
I see you. I see us. Margaret, do I take Shantae or do I go to the break? Okay, let's go to the phone lines because we have to go to a break. I also have some big hello to listen, guys. The YouTube audience is wonderful. I have some people to say hello to. Also, on Facebook. Kat says the caller Sherry has a great point. Tara says Shanique. You know, she wants the conversation to be real. She wants it to be a little more representative of what's really happening in the classrooms, in particular in the education system today. Hi, Shantae. Thank you very much for holding. Welcome to the conversation. Shantae, are you there? Shantae, are you still holding? Today's show is brought to you by the Ministry of Finance, Almighty Computers, Miden's Wholesale, USA Flea Market, S&M Uniform, GM Appliances, and Club One Fitness Center. Stay exactly where you are. The conversation comes back right after this break.
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Let's talk about love, health and wellness, transformation, yeah, we got it.
G&M Appliances on Robinson Road has all your air conditioning needs this summer, like the Comfort Star 9000 and 12,000 BTU 13 SEER for just $3.99. Or how about the Comfort Star 18,000 BTU just $5.99? Or how about the Comfort Star 24,000 or 36,000 at the lowest prices possible? We also carry a large selection of air conditioning parts such as fans, compressors, filters, capacitors, or any part you may need. So, call today at 328-2083. We're located on Robinson Road.
Bastard! Don't you know you're putting your children's lives at risk?
Man, Charlie, what you mean?
I mean, there's a right and wrong way for children to travel in cars, and this is wrong!
A child weighing less than 20 pounds shall sit in an infant seat fitted in the back seat. A child weighing between 20 and 40 pounds shall sit in a convertible seat fitted to the back seat. A child over 40 pounds or up to 4 feet 9 inches should sit in a booster seat fitted in the back seat. And obviously, everyone else should be wearing a seatbelt.
This means you too, Mommy.
Happily married with 8 children, Mully felt God calling them to sell everything. That call came in 1986 after a face-to-face encounter with children begging on the street.
I was really tormented by these boys in the street. I saw faces of me and I could not walk anymore. I cried, why is it that God wanted me to take me back again?
How passionate are you in what you're doing here?
Very passionate. I've not been good at a lot of things, but cooking is one thing that I put my best foot forward every time I step in the kitchen. I do not accept mediocrity. If it's bad before it goes up to the guests, it's not coming up. I'd rather have a dish come out to the guests late and right than on time and wrong.
As a young man at the University of the Bahamas, I have dreams, goals, and ambitions just like everyone else. My wheelchair does not limit me. And neither does my university.
We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up.
Brought to you by UBTV and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Let your mind become a tool.
Welcome back to the conversation. Thank you very much, Margaret. Get involved, Dr. Off. By the way, guys, want to hear more from you. 325-5403, 325-5404, 325-5405, or 12423008255. Let me just go to YouTube for a moment. We have several people, a number, I know it was like 93 watching when you were looking, right, Delvano?
Yeah.
So hello to you, Tay. Helen says, hello, Shanique. This is wonderful to see this YouTube stream live, and I'm happy to hear the conversation today. Thank you so much, Helen. Parika is watching right here in New Providence, and she says, I'm watching on television and on YouTube on my phone. Hello to you, Parika. It's good to have you watching as well. Helen agreed with your comment, because Helen says, exactly, the encyclopedia was my source of research and information back in the day before Google. That's for you, Brian. And also continuing with our live YouTube feed, by the way, it's ZNS Network Bahamas. Go there, subscribe to the channel, and listen, get going. And while you're at it, subscribe to Shanique Miller as well, my YouTube channel. And so Helen says she enjoyed Sherry's comment. She made very, very fine and important and valid points, she is saying. Tay has a question. My question is, what advice do you give to students who are having trouble balancing their numerous housework and homework and study obligations, etc.? Because, man, I understand nowadays, too, in order to graduate, you need to complete almost like a internship. I forgot what you all call it, but it's called something different. But in essence, an internship. Now, this is just from high school. This ain't nothing even to do with college. So we know it's a more competitive age out there, and you have to kind of just make it happen. But Tay has that question for you. You know, what advice would you give to a student who is trying to balance, you know, of the obligations at home that's expected and that they have, and then the load that's the schoolwork?
First off, you need to see what your priorities are, and see if there anything that you have that any downtime, any social time that you have that is not necessary for you. Now, we all need a social life. We all need time to relax and unwind. But unwinding and relaxing, don't let that be 90% of your day or a large percentage of your day. And then you got to hurry up, run and go do your chores because, you know, your mommy coming home and she can whop you with the broom. You know, make sure you have your structure and you have order set out. And also, too, at Anatole Rogers, make sure your priority is your priority. We have a saying, and I think Mr. Clive Stewart came up with this. He said, at Anatole, my education is serious business. My education, this is my job, and I take it seriously. And the teacher is my boss, and I'm the employee. So you have to think of the fact that, okay, school now is my job. And if I were on a job, how would I perform on a job? So now this is my priority. This is how I get paid. I get paid for my education. I might not get paid today, but 10 years down the road, I get paid. I don't get paid. I don't get paid from Basketball Wives. I don't get paid from...
No, child. And Tay, listen to that, truly. And I know it sounds like, oh my God, get into the real world, come on. But Tay, Basketball Wives don't pay you. It don't even pay me. I pull back long time.
Not as lovely hip-hop.
I pull back. No, Jesus, please stay away from that one. I mean, it's even more ratchet than Basketball Wives. But nor does Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, nor do the Kardashians. No, listen, sometimes you have to kind of hunker down and decide this is what I'm going to do because I want to enjoy that lifestyle as well at some point very soon. And so Tay, here's another teacher. We have, and boy, we just got them going. So the Facebook audience, you have advice coming from every angle. Yeah. First of all, this is Mary, right?
Doctor!
She's
Dr. Mary Terren.
Hi, Dr. Mary Terren. What does she teach?
She teaches social studies as well.
Okay, listen, good to have you, Dr. Terren, Dr. Mary Terren, tuning in today and participating. She says, Shanique, I'm a teacher at Anatole Rogers, and we push our students to succeed. That's why we did a good job on the BJCs. 51 A's, 42 B's, and 45 C's. Congratulations. In social studies, 80% of my students passed. Congratulations, Dr. Terren. She continues, we have the best teachers at Anatole Rogers High School.
R.M. Bailey.
She
met R.M. Bailey.
Numbers speak for themselves. Numbers speak for themselves.
No, it does. I tell you, no, when I'm finished, you call your numbers.
Oh, I have numbers.
Let me go to Dr. Terren. Now here, Tay, here's the advice. She said, students can balance their schoolwork by staying focused. Put God first, and parents should be the teacher after school at home.
Amen.
She says, her education is serious business, and the teacher is the boss. Awesome. Hello to you, Shanique. Shanique Lang, hello to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. Let's go to the phone lines. Hi, Charlie from Eleuthera. Thank you so much for holding, and thank you for calling into the show today. Welcome to the conversation.
A pleasure to you, Shanique.
Hi.
And the wonderful teachers you have. Now, we gotta keep it real in these day and time.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm up here in Eleuthera in our time, when our children go to school, they go to school already know the ABC, already could know the name, the spelling name, and write.
Yes.
So I had a daughter. She went to Parental high school. She skipped one grade, and at the age of 15, she will finish the high school, and now she's a professional chef.
At the age of 15, congratulations.
Mm-hmm. So now let me say something. Let me say that every teacher knows every child in their class. All children are not come to be smart, but they are smart with their hand. They know that who maybe could do carpentry, but train them carpentry in the school. Some would be seamstress, learn them how to sew, and how to tile, how to do electricity, other things, and family. That's an important one. You can feed yourself.
Yes, sir.
Everybody not to be brain smart, but they are smart with the hand.
Yes,
so
sir.
From the put back, because we have the children that we know they are capable with the hand. You want them to 10 BJs, and you know quite well within yourself they're going to pass none of them.
Charlie, you are very right, and that is one of the questions I put to this panel of teachers today. Has that system been fully developed, and is it operating today where students who are interested in a trade or some technical something, that they too have their path clearly defined for them in terms of going out there and becoming sufficiently skilled and equipped and qualified to go out there and do business?
We should end with this. Don't do each and every one of a talent. My talent might be for singing, my talent might be for planting or doing stone. But whatever God gives you, use it.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, you all have a blessed evening.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much for holding and calling for me, Luther, today. Continue to enjoy your day on the island of freedom. Hello to you. Thank you very much. Hello to you, Siobhan. Thank you so much for watching. You wanted to say?
I wanted to say that I agree with him. I met a young lady who just graduated, grade 12, and she attends my church BFM. And she actually, she sewed her dress, her gown, not just dress, the gown that she wore
for prom.
To prom. And it was so elegant. And she is so good in that she's going off to college to pursue that.
Awesome.
To be a seamstress.
A seamstress.
Now, you don't usually hear about students like that.
No.
But that is the area that she
and there's
was shining in.
And see, that's a market. There's a market for that.
So,
she's now a fashion designer. She can become a stylist.
Yes.
She can. There's so many things that she can do, and so she styles you and she makes your attire.
Yes.
Just to answer that question and the caller, just to reiterate, I was saying earlier, at the Ministry of Education with a National High School Diploma, we have defined pathways. And so a child who desires to be a doctor, who desires to be a lawyer, someone who desires to be an entrepreneur. So that system is in place, you're saying? Yes, it is presently in place. Our kids, once they enter the 10th grade, they have pathways. And so any child with any ability, they have the opportunity once they enter the public schools and even some private schools to have pathways designed for those particular individuals to pursue those careers. And so we are not only focused on kids who will take the 10 BGCSEs and pass.
And so they graduate with just as much pride, walking the stage.
Yes, they do.
And
as long as they meet the
that's
minimum,
a technical.
Yes, as long as they meet the minimum requirements. And we have to have standards. Every country has standards. Even to work at ZNS, to be a reporter, there are standards and so we have standards. And so once the person meets those minimum standards, they walk the stage and they graduate. But in terms of pathways, in terms of preparing those children, every single child, as long as they decide the pathway they want to choose, they have that opportunity, Shanique. And so we are moving. We're not there completely yet, but again, we are progressing. We are evolving, Shanique. And I'm certain that in a few years we're going to get everything sorted out. Okay?
Yes, of course, Silvano. That sounds really good to hear. As we go to the break right now, I want you guys to mull this over, and then you answer when we return. So Tay, who is on the, by the way, guys, ZNS Bahamas Network, ZNS Network Bahamas, pardon me, on YouTube. Follow the channel. Watch it live there as well. I am on all of the networks, and I get your questions, and I get you involved in the conversation. And so Tay says, listen, she wants this question to know. How does a school teenager deal with some teachers who teach in a way that does not fit your learning style? See, that's why I ask if you're all up to date with teaching, because some of y'all is like, y'all and in the ministry in this box, and ain't trying to come out. Everybody don't learn the same way now. Never did, perhaps, but certainly it's more evident now. How are you reaching that kid? And that perhaps is where the teacher's aid come in, because then a teacher only can sort of perhaps focus on the general population of that classroom, but then how do you reach that one who can't learn when you're talking about Christopher Columbus quite like that? how do you reach that one? We're going to talk about that and answer that question when we come back. Everybody stay exactly where you are. Don't go anywhere. Keep the comments coming, the questions, the observations, whatever it is, or your phone calls. We're going to take a break and come back with more of the conversation after this.
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies, and we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day, we're just like you. Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
Did you bring the thing?
What thing?
Protection.
Come on, man. You really want to ruin the moment with that?
I actually think it will help the moment. No worries. Now we can continue. Next time, step your game up.
The Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale was developed in 1971 by civil engineer Herbert Saffir and meteorologist Robert Simpson, who was the director of the U.S. National Hurricane Center. It was introduced to the public in 1973 and began to be widely used a year later. Inspired by the Richter scale that measures earthquakes, the Saffir-Simpson scale was divided into 5 categories. Originally, the Saffir-Simpson scale also included predicted barometric pressures associated with the various wind speeds, as well as the relative kinds of damage that could be anticipated. However, because those predictions were found to be very inaccurate, just a few years ago, the warning system was changed to include only the wind speeds, which were also adjusted upwards in the higher categories. A Category 1 hurricane has wind speeds between 74 and 95 miles per hour. A Category 2, 96 to 110 miles per hour. A Cat 3, 111 to 129 miles per hour. A Cat 4, 130 to 156 miles per hour, and a Category 5 hurricane will have winds from 157 miles per hour and up. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Agency.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
I just watched, stood there, remained silent, minded my own business. But I knew better. You just can't mind your own business. Because it is my business. If I see someone in an unsafe situation, I have to do something. Or else I'm just as guilty as the person who commits the crime. If you witness an act of sexual violence, it is your responsibility to do something about it. You can speak up, intervene, call the police. Silence is her approval. Don't blame her. Because of what she wore, how far things went, because of how much she had to drink. No means no. Because real men don't show their strength by being violent.
Let's talk. Call the Bahamas Crisis Center's free 24-hour hotline at 328-0922. Sometimes a conversation can change a life.
Hi, I'm Stuart Cove, and for many years, I've taken pride in introducing young Bahamians and international visitors to the wonders of our Bahamian underwater world. Our marine ecosystem helps to keep our tourism industry and fisheries sector healthy and lucrative. We must all do our part in protecting it for future generations. And that is why I ensure our staff and customers are taught about the importance of coral reefs. I do this and more to protect our underwater life because I care. Do you?
More Bahamians are being encouraged to get involved in fishing and farming in an overall view of growing our agriculture industry, putting the Bahamas in a better position to not only feed ourselves, but create a sustainable food chain of produce for export. Hello, I'm Carla Palmer. In the next episode of Agriculture Now, we'll explore the potential of the fisheries sector. Join me on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. for Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. on the ZNS television network.
How passionate are you with what you're doing here?
Very passionate. I've not been good at a lot of things, but cooking is one thing that I put my best foot forward every time I step in the kitchen. I do not accept mediocrity. If it's bad before it goes up to the guests, it's not coming out. I'd rather have a dish comes out to the guests late and right than on time and wrong.
As a young man at the University of the Bahamas, I have dreams, goals, and ambitions just like everyone else. My wheelchair does not limit me. And neither does my university.
We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up.
Brought to you by UBTV and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Meanwhile, Bahamian Shanae Miller-Ubu broke a 16-year-old Commonwealth Games record as she clinched gold in the women's 200 meters final.
La
Oh, really? Listen, that's a very important question. Straw Work Money by Spice. Thank you so much, Margaret Elizabeth. You guys saw me squinting trying to read that right there. The song that she brought us in on. Today's show, of course, is being brought to you by the Ministry of Finance, also Club One Fitness Center, personal training, wonderful, fun, energetic, entertaining classes from Zumba to various aerobic classes, and just a great gym facility for you to use and have fun with while getting in shape. Thank you very much, Club One Fitness Center at the Sandy Port Shopping Center. We also being brought to you today by Mydens Wholesale. Mydens is your back to school headquarters. And get this, I'm not talking about uniforms and stuff. I'm talking about all the other wonderful little necessities that your school child needs. And that is from white t-shirts for boys or men that go under the uniform shirt to help keep them cool. Also the knee-high socks for girls. Also they have the sporting white socks, the nylon socks for boys. School uniform shirts, boys and girls. Girls singlets, also the backpacks and totes, geometry sets, composition books, and I'll tell you this, all of these are at wholesale prices. So you win majorly. You're not paying retail for this. You can go into Mydens on your own and get the wholesale price and an additional 20% off. An additional 20% off on wholesale prices. Also, paper-made pens. The teachers, y'all need pens? Y'all got to buy them. Mydens. Yeah. Wholesale prices and an additional 20% off. Pencils and a whole lot of things. You could also do other business there, from transferring money to paying your bills. Really, really super. Now, here is where Mydens is located. 3 locations for you. Robinson Road. The phone number is there. 601-3305 or 326-7449. East Street South, 676-4435 or 325-4434. Also, Lower Bogie Luthra, 335-2087 or 699-5087. Mydens Wholesale, giving you huge savings just in time for back to school. Really, really super. We also being brought to you today by S&M Uniform. S&M Uniform, formerly the Uniform Center. Yes, but hey, while the name has changed, S&M Uniform, they are still doing incredible things and helping so many families out in terms of paying little or nothing for school uniforms from schools all across this island. Get this. S&M Uniform on Marshall Road is providing 50% off on uniforms for the following schools: C.I. Gibson, C.R. Walker, Donald Davis, H.O. Nash, Gerald Cash. S&M is also making it very, very easy for residents in the areas of Carmichael Road, Marshall Road, North and South, Faith Avenue, and Pinewood Gardens. You get, besides that, an additional 10% off on those schools in that area: Anatole Rogers, Prince Wills, C.V. Bethel, S.C. McPherson, Bahamas Academy, Sadie Curtis, and Cleveland Eneas. S&M Uniforms. Give them a call today, 361-0126, 361-0126. GM Appliance has all your special needs. In this heat, they got you covered. Ductless units starting as low as $399. Give GM Appliance a call today, 328-2083. 328-2083. We also being brought to you today by USA Flea Market. USA Flea Market with hundreds of stores under one roof. Northwest 79th Street and 30th Avenue. When you go to Miami, you know exactly where to go. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you all so much for coming aboard the conversation, for supporting the show. If you want your business, your event, your product, whatever it is, to get more traction, this certainly is the platform to get it done. And so give Renard Miller a call. Renard Miller, he will get you booked and sorted out to have your ads and appear on the show and perhaps even have you around the table to talk about what you're doing. 805-2494, 805-2494. Here is what's happening now. So hello to you, Dikisha, Dr. Turen, yes?
Dr. Turen.
Dr. Turen. Dr. Duran says students learn differently. This is for you, Tay, on the live feed on YouTube, the ZNS Network Bahamas live feed on YouTube channel. She says students learn differently, but it's up to the teacher to know each one of her students and how they learn. Patrice says, and this is the Facebook feed, it's sometimes hard to reach each child when there are 25 to 30 students in a class, especially grade 1, and no teacher's aid. Boy, Patrice, we spent, must be almost an hour talking about teacher's aid. Portia says, wonderful show, missed a lot of it, was in a meeting. Teachers, good luck to you on the upcoming school year. You are great. That's Portia.
Thank you.
Yeah, one of your colleagues in the United States. She's also a teacher who was saying, listen, you know, teachers are doing incredible stuff and they totally need all the support that they can get. So Tay, I hope you got your answers right there. Let's just see. So Lyndon Williams is watching. Lyndon says, this is now back on the live YouTube feed. We should encourage individuals to pursue the profession, career based on their gifts and skill set. We need our brightest in the fields of agriculture, mechanical repair, etc. Some individuals have excelled in business even though they were never considered to be academically inclined. So true, right?
Yes.
Super. You can become a successful business person on anything you put your mind to, as long as you do it excellently and meticulously. Really, really super. And so I hope I got to all of your comments on the live feed on YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching on YouTube and streaming live with us on that platform. Hello to you, Natty Dread. Thank you so much for tuning in. As we wrap up today, I'll give each of you an opportunity for 30 seconds each to wrap up just have a final comment.
What, you want to start with the lady in the
Yes,
house?
by all means, yes.
Well, before I get into my final words, I said my shout out to my husband, Hubert Pinball. I also have 2 daughters, Jada and Ariel. Hello. And also to my Richland primary teachers who are listening. They
Hello
are
to you,
a wonderful
Richland.
bunch of teachers at Richland Primary. So thank you for listening. I want to say that teaching is something that you have to have the heart of. For teaching, you can't just come into it and then decide, I'm not going to do it. It must be a part of you, unless you will not succeed in it. So teachers, like Portia said, are great, and we all strive for the best for our students.
I just want to say that that our educational system is really a partnership, and that we have to approach it as not as a us versus them, but as a all of us, whether that be the teachers, the students, administration, the Ministry of Education, the parents, and our community stakeholders. We all have a part to play.
And as we end today, I just want to encourage all of our parents to, this school year, make it your business to become more involved in your child's education. Make site visits to your child's school. Find out what's going on, attend PTAs, and become an active participant in the learning of your child. We can do this all together to improve the quality of education that we provide to our children. I also want to encourage my good friend Shanique Miller to, also come to R.M. Bailey.
Why? What's happening at R.M. Bailey?
To bring me lunch, sweetie.
You know what? Let me just wrap this show up. Wrap this show up, because one thing I don't do is I don't do commonality. That's too common to me. Yeah, but listen, thank you all so much, Brian, Chanel, and Delvano. I appreciate each of you. Thank you.